Hey guys, Mrs. Prepper here. I'm going to show you how to make some homemade elderberry syrup and tincture. Um, if some kind of event happened, you're going to be, stores won't have, cough medicine and stuff like that. So it's good to learn how to make your own. Not to mention it doesn't have all the chemicals and added ingredients in there. It's just all natural items. And you can use fresh, but I've never used the fresh elderberries, so I buy the dried elderberries. I don't know if you've ever seen what it looks like. They're just very tiny. Probably cost about, I think I paid about $10 for a 1 pound bag, and that's going to be enough to fill up probably 5 jars between the tincture and the syrup. I'll have the list of the ingredients in the comments below, but basically it's 1 cup of dried elderberries, 3 cups of water, 2 cinnamon sticks. You could use powdered if you don't have the sticks, like about 2 teaspoons, whole cloves 3, or the equivalent would be about 1/4 teaspoon of the dried, 1 cup of raw honey, and I used about 1 full lemon to squeeze the juice out. I'm making a double batch just because I know I went through it so fast last year, so I'll have it'll look like more than what I just said for the ingredients, but that's because I doubled the recipe. I went ahead and did the primary part of cooking it. It takes about an hour for it to reduce down, and you don't want to add the honey or the lemon until after it's reduced down. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour, and then you need to let it cool probably for another 20 minutes or so after that, because the heat will destroy the medicinal properties of the honey. So I've already done that ahead of time, and now I'm using the cheesecloth, and I also put it over a strainer, and I'll show you. We'll just pour everything out into here. I already took the cinnamon sticks out because when you squeeze everything out of there from the cheesecloth, you don't want the cinnamon sticks tearing holes in, and then you'll have to restrain it again. So we're just gonna pour it in, and I did this ahead of time just because I didn't obviously want to have an 1.5 hour long video on it, so we just took care of this part of it ahead of time. Now, if you're not familiar with the elderberries, or the reason we use it for cough syrup and tinctures, is it's extremely high in vitamins A and C, antioxidants. It's just and this is what a lot of old-time recipes, back from our grandparents, great-grandparents, that was probably the main ingredients for their cough syrups and stuff. Now you should, like I said, I'm making the double batch here. So with a regular batch, you'll end up with the equivalent to fill, like I use the recycled jars, like mayonnaise jars, jelly, make sure I wash and soak them really well. But 1 batch of this will probably fill up 1 full-size jar, maybe 1.5. So just don't want to waste any of the juice, and make sure we get all the stuff strained out of there. So, like I said, this is a double batch, and I'm anticipating having about 3 jars filled up. And I'll do that in just a second. The other part, now that it's cool, I'll also add the honey and the lemon juice to it. Now the other part, the tincture, I've already put the dried berries in, and the only two ingredients for the tincture is elderberries, about a quarter of the jar, and then you fill the rest up with vodka. And now the difference, the syrup, you can put in the refrigerator, you could use that immediately. The tincture, you fill it up to about 1 inch from the top, and you want to, once you put the lid on, you want to put it someplace in a cool, dark, dry spot and let it sit for about 2 months. And so I'm using the 80 proof vodka. By the time it reduces down a little bit, evaporates, you'll end up with the equivalent of about 20 to 25% alcohol. So that will put it on the about the same as over-the-counter NyQuil or something like that. So that's all you have to do for this. This one is quick. The other one it's just when you cook it, you just want it to reduce down by half or so. And that's just the most time-consuming part about it. Now the cough syrup, we used it last year, and it during flu season, cold and flu season, worked great for having upper respiratory cough, the dry hacking cough, and probably you could take this as a preventative. Well, the syrup, not the tincture, like about a tablespoon a day. It's all natural. There's nothing to worry about taking it. Or 1 to 2 teaspoons an hour, when you're actively sick. And the tincture, if you need a little extra boost, then you would want to take 1 to 2 teaspoons every hour, every 2 hours. Make sure you label what they are, the date you made them. The tinctures, being that it has alcohol in it, will last quite a bit longer. So, if you keep it in a dark, cool spot, about a year and a half. The cough syrup, keep it in the refrigerator about 4 to 6 months probably. And one jar that we used is about the size of this jar, and between my older son and I, we use that up. Which is why I'm making extra this year. So, and raw honey, I'm gonna try to use that. That has the most benefits, medicinal properties to it. So, appreciate it if you'd like, comment, subscribe, and hope you have fun making it, and give it a try and let me know how you liked it. Thanks.